excelente. Vamos a ver compañero.
Look at this. Here's red stag.
DSC's Trailing the Hunter's Moon is presented by Dallas Safari Club. Hornady. Accurate, deadly, dependable. Ruger. Zeiss. We make it visible. Convergent Hunting Solutions. And by the Wildlife Gallery.
I've always loved hunting red stags. I've hunted them several places, including in Austria and in Argentina and in New Zealand, and had always kind of put off my hunt for stags in Scotland because I thought it might be one of the easier hunts. I learned quite the contrary. Hunting them is something else. Most of Scotland is free-range stags. We were hunting before the rut and the roar really got started, so most of the animals were still together. Large bachelor herds of bulls or stags and large herds of females with their young. And as I said, almost too many at the time, and they have a tendency to kind of live at the very top of the mountains. Tim Fallon and I have been dear friends for at least 6-8 years. We've hunted all around the world together. Absolutely great person to spend time with in camp, great person to spend time with on the hunt, very knowledgeable. Runs the FTW ranch with the Sportsman all-weather, all-terrain marksmanship, hunter training. Fantastic shooting facility used by a lot of people. Does a lot of things with the military as well. One of those rare individuals whose company you really truly enjoy, and you know when times get hard, he's going to be right there beside you. In visiting with Stefan before the hunt that Patty set up for us, we talked about the size stag that we're looking for, and basically, for the most part, Tim Fallon and I were looking for just good representative stags that are typically found in the open areas of Scotland, and there are not many high-fenced areas here. It's almost all open land anyway. The plan of attack in terms of how we're going to hunt these animals is that it's basically going to be a spot and stalk. Drive some of the countryside roads on the property.
Empty chamber. Okay.
These estates are huge. Most of them are 20 to 50, 60 to 100,000 acres in size. Cover large valleys, large hillsides. Generally only one road that runs through these things, and that's right through the center. So the game plan was to drive the roads, stop periodically, get out and glass. If we saw something that looked promising, then to start putting on the stalk.
The problem is, like you said before, that there is also a big group of females and stags lying over to the left of the ridge, so hopefully we won't scare them that they are going down and pulling our stags with us, but...
Yep, I'm hoping that. I'm hoping they go more east and don't come west,
Yeah,
or they
exactly.
will move the stags that we're after.
Yeah. Let's cross the fingers and see how it's going.
might change and everything, so we want to be on top of them. So the thing that we do now is that we will bring the wool here, and when we start to walk that last bit, I'm gonna hold back, and you just start to follow Richard, and he will take you up to the beast hopefully.
Sounds good. Let's go.
The Scottish stag is really a separate subspecies. They're considerably smaller. They'll weigh 250, maybe 300 pounds on the bigger, older stags. Their antlers are such that they do crown like other stags do, but generally most of the stags that you find in the free range areas, they're 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 points to the side, maybe antlers that are 24, 26, 28 inches long, the same kind of spread. Color-wise, they're a little bit lighter colored than most of the red stags that I've seen, and they have a tendency to have kind of a grizzled, reddish gray kind of color to them. Have a little bit of a white patch on their tail, or around their tail, similar to what an elk does. So a lot of times that helps you spot them when they blend in so well with everything else up on the hillside. I mean, we normally might have been able to get to the stags a lot quicker had the hinds not been there. The wind was wrong. We had no choice. I mean, we kept going up and had to get around to the backside and then come down on them. I mean, you're hunting at about 7,000 feet, 7,500 feet, so I wasn't quite ready for that kind of altitude, so I ended up having to stop many, many times along the way, walk 40, 50 steps, stop. So it took quite a bit of doing. I mean, seriously, I've hunted sheep and not walked as far, not walked as high, and not walked as steep a country as what we did going after these red stag up in the Highlands of Scotland.
Amazing. In Trailing the Hunter's Moon, we get to stay in some pretty nice places occasionally, and also some very rugged, kind of rustic camps, if you will. You might call this one a little bit on the rustic side simply because the great age involved, built in the 1830s. But just take a look around. I mean, you look at all the detail. Back home in the States, very seldom do people pay any attention to the ceiling, but you notice the ceiling, you notice little gargoyles in a lot of different places. You look around and you see so much history, and particularly in terms of hunting, in terms of being in Scotland. You look at some of the old guns that are here, some of the old sharp-edged swords that they used, but also at the red stags that were taken from this area, as well as the roe deer that were taken here. The detail is absolutely amazing too in terms of the wood. Everywhere you look, there is something of note that is absolutely beautiful. Sometimes you walk by it, first time and don't even see it. The second time you go by, you go, oh my goodness, how did I ever miss that? Amazing place, this Lace Castle. And you look at the chairs, look at the intricate woodwork of the chair.
I've always loved hunting red stags. I've hunted them several places, including in Austria and in Argentina and in New Zealand, and had always kind of put off my hunt for stags in Scotland because I thought it might be one of the easier hunts. I learned quite the contrary. We were hunting before the rut and the war really got started, so most of the animals were still together, large bachelor herds. And they have a tendency to kind of live at the very top of the mountains. We kind of got up on top and kind of sat there for just a little bit while Richard went to peek over the edge. And sure enough, there were several stags. We were, again, there during the time frame when these are still in bachelor herds, so we knew that there were several. Started easing down to the point to where we hoped we would be able to get a shot. When it comes to hunting red stags in Scotland, there are several essentials. One is a really good pair of boots because you're going to do some walking. When it comes to rifles, I use a Ruger 270 in their Model 77. They're international with a Mannlicher stock with a Zeiss scope, a Conquest scope, of course Hornady and ammunition, in this instance the whitetail ammunition that they put out. Perfect combination for hunting stags. But also good optics. You spend a lot of time glassing it to see if that's the animal that you're wanting to go after, and that generally means does he fit the age class that they're wanting to take. So good optics, definitely required. Again, there during the time frame when these are still in bachelor herds, so we knew that there were several. I mean, we're coming in from the top of them, so they're really not looking our way, but they're also cognizant probably that there is potential danger coming from the top. We're looking at a young stag with some hinds to our left, and had almost decided that was the one we should take when we looked over to the right, and so our concentration of taking this little stag all of a sudden switched over to the stags over to our right. Both Tim and I have shot a fair amount of times at a little bit longer ranges, and longer ranges meaning 300 yards. We'd hope to get within 100, but these are like 325, so a very doable shot with the Ruger rifles that we're shooting.
Larry, they're at 360. 360, Larry, and I'd give it about a minute and a half of wind. 6 inches left.
Okay, 6 inches wind left.
5 to 6 inches.
Guys, I don't know if I can get up.
Well done.
Congratulations.
Good shoot, Harry.
Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Good shooting.
And he's rough. You know, the antler's really rough, and these tips are just absolutely beautiful. Diamond. It's been a long day.
Ivory.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Beautifully ivory tipped. God, he's pretty.
That's a magnificent stag. It's just so typical of what you envision the Scottish stag with the crowns and the beautiful brow tines, beautiful colors. Jeez, I can't.
No, there is 13 species of red stag over the world, and the Scottish one here that we have in front of us here is I think it's number 4, one of the third or the fourth smallest of the stags.
Richard, how old do you think he is?
That stag's between 10 and 12 years old.
But this is a very good specimen of the Scottish stag you got here. Excellent.
He is absolutely beautiful. Guys, thank you.
Well done. Well done.
Well done.
Quite a hunt.
Yeah.
Quite a day
Yep.
for an old man.
That's a stag too.
Oh, God. That is absolutely beautiful, though.